Maybe some of us in here, this reality is there for us, but it's not public. Right? There's this reality in our lives that we're very aware of. Maybe this hidden sin. Something that nobody knows about, but you know about it. And it's just owning you. Tearing you up and down, left and right, day in and day out. And you just can't seem to get ahead of it or get mastery over it because it's mastered you. And as a result, when you look in the mirror, all you see is worthlessness and failure. Maybe you're in a relationship or in a marriage that has through the years just lost every sense of intimacy and joy that there used to be. And all around you, your life is burning to ash. And yet you refuse to acknowledge that and cry out for help. And acknowledge the struggle that's in your life, the reality of those things around you. Because to do so means that people might view you differently. And if you admitted those things, they might think, what, that you struggle, that you're a sinner, that you're a failure? You already are. That's the point of the gospel. But rather than crying out, fire! You let it all burn down. Instead of crying out for help, you sit there and you let your soul smolder to ashes because you're too proud. You're too proud to cry out and say, I need help. I can't do this. You see, Paul looked around, he looked at his own life, and he realized that we can try and build our life. I can build my life on me and my abilities, but in the end, that's a bankrupt way to live. And it's going to end in tragedy for anyone that chooses that path. Because one day, someday, the day will come where the things that I think define me will leave me, and I'm left with nothing. And then what? Like, have you ever, anyone in here a fan of VH1? Music? A few of us? Well, maybe you've seen this. Have you seen VH1, Where Are They Now? Right? I shouldn't laugh, right? But this, I remember the first time I watched this show, it's like, VH1, where are they now? They show they show footage from back in the day when these rock stars were like the man, right? And there's the crowds, and there's the travel, and all these things, and the world revolves around them, and, you know, and you're like, man, and it's like, and there's that pause, and where are they now? You know, you flash forward 15 years, and they're a little bit older, a little bit fatter, a little bit less hair, and they just got that sad look, you know? Because the world doesn't revolve around them anymore. The adoring fans have left. And now they've moved from being this rock god to a rock mockery that everyone makes fun of now. Because their identity was wrapped up in being a rock star and all that they did, and now that has left them, they are left with nothing. And it shows on their face and their countenance, and you can see it in the tragedies that play out in their lives. And we stand back and we make fun of that, right? Because it is kind of like, I think we all have six twisted of humor. But anyway, we see that and you kind of giggle. But here's the reality. That's you. That's me. That's all of us. That's why VH1, Where Are They Now? Gained some ratings. Because you can relate. We might not say that. We might not articulate that. But at the end of the day, it's like looking in a mirror. And so Paul looks at all this craziness and he says, listen, guys, I need you to know something. If you think you can build your life on you and your abilities, I've got far more confidence in the flesh than you ever had. And it's bankrupt. It goes nowhere but death, destruction, sadness, loss, grief, loneliness, isolation, sin. But there's another way. There's another way. And in verse 7, listen to this, he says, but whatever gain I had, I counted as loss for the sake of Christ. Indeed, I count everything as loss because of the surpassing worth of knowing Christ Jesus my Lord. For his sake I have suffered the loss of all things, and count them as rubbish, in order that I may gain Christ, and be found in him, not having a righteousness of my own that comes from the law, or what I do,